The way is in training. Miyamoto Musashi. My friends, if you're going to be a brilliant, always successful Japanese swordsman, or if you're going to be a competent stock and ETF trader, the way is in training. Each and every day, all we ask is 10 to 15 minutes, not hours a day, as Miyamoto Musashi would have required of his students in the dojo. My friends, 10 to 15 minutes each and every day. If you will just spend that time following your favorite stocks and ETFs with us, you're going to find so much success as you go along. And it doesn't cost you anything but your time. We're not talking about spending money. We're not a stock calling service. We're an education firm. And of course, our Patreon members have received 20 weekly vertical crossovers. We shared 2 of those with you this week. One of them was AAL, and of course that's American Airlines Group. Again, today alone up 1.54%. We've been talking about how great it has been moving as of late. We had a long short on this. We also use this on our 3-wave trades that we share with our Patreon members each and every week. And you can backtrack this in time and see what a frigging great chart it is. And just now turning around, look at all that volume this week. How many of you listening earlier in the week, and particularly Patreon members, how many of you have initiated a practice trade on this, seeing it set up? We also shared a second of the 20 with you yesterday, GEN. And as we look at GEN, oops, that's not the right one. GEN, here we go. Gen Digital, up 1.54%. No, I'm sorry, guys. I'm looking over at the S&P 500. I don't have any idea how much this is up today. I'm looking on the wrong side of the screen. But we can see how much it is up during the course of the day. Down some in the morning, recovering in the afternoon. But both of these putting in great weeks here. Look at all that volume and that turnaround. And again, a decent chart here of late, giving you lots of opportunities over this last year to successfully jump in and again use the weekly trend line to trade this. Is it not beautiful? Well, of course, if you're a Patreon member at any of the 3 levels, you get 20 of these we strive for each and every week. Now, some weeks there's not 20 weekly vertical crossovers that are worth dealing with. That's both up and down. We had no downs this week, just ups, as you see how the market ended. And of course, that leads me into the 1.55%. I'm recording this a little early, about 15 minutes before the market closed on Friday. Of course, the S&P is up. Look at this. After we had several weeks of some down moves, market again on higher than average volume last week, and the week before had bottomed out and then turned around, going up over the course of this week. We saw where things had popped up and then slid sideways, still gaining some, dropping there on Thursday morning, popping up on Thursday afternoon dropping, popping up on Friday morning, and then moving up nicely on Friday afternoon as the mood resumes. And the move resumes. We also see volume now is right about average as we end the week. About ditto on the NASDAQ 100, but even stronger. We can see where it too pulled back on Thursday, but then popped up strong Friday morning and even stronger Friday afternoon, up 2.22%. 4 up candles there on the 2-day chart. This is the first day of the latest 2-day candle. But again, a smaller candle, no move on the bottom. And again, I do warn you guys, when you're using these ticked lines, the vertical lines, be careful as you're looking at a candle always to move off of it. It looks like there is a wick on the bottom of the green candle there on the 2-day, doesn't? There's not. It's just coming from those ticked lines. I wish that didn't happen. So you got to be real careful when you're looking. That would show some weakness, would it not? Well, it doesn't. So again, we'll watch as we swing into this next week How much higher will things go? We saw where things had held right there on the weekly chart, right around where things were before. We see the candle top there back on these 2 weeks, 3 weeks actually, last week and the 2 prior weeks, but on the S&P managed to push above. So we'll see just how high things will go. What about bonds? Well, bonds turned around last week, going up this week, up for the day right now 0.58%. And the one that flipped over on us, that was gold, going down again, 1.10% short on gold. We broke that trend line, and look, we're up to average volume for the week after higher than average volume before. Gold just topped out and moving down. Bitcoin, again, redeems itself, up for the day 1.58% as we see, when things turned around after this last topper, rolling over and then slowly but surely continuing to gin up and moving higher. Look at all that volume for the week. And you can see where there was so little volume before in Bitcoin. But boy, average volume or higher the last 4 weeks. Absolutely beautiful. Folks, we always love to hear from you. CW@chartingwealth.com. You want to support the work that we do here for free for you each and every day. You can do so by becoming a Patreon member. You won't regret it. First thing you'll get, Options Made Simple, the Charting Wealth Way, 3-part series that you will absolutely love. If you want to learn more about options, why don't you learn it the right way? God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.